Okay. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Magic Happens. We have an exciting topic this week. First, we'll start by introducing ourselves. I'm Kathy Goggin. I'm a mom, a grandmom, an entrepreneur. I help people create multiple streams of income, and we have Means Davis. Means, would you like to introduce yourself?
Good afternoon, everybody. So we'll just breathe for a minute and go, let everybody get powerfully present in the moment rather than, all over the place, because it's Monday and it's the first of the
That was for me, everybody. Just saying.
So my name is Means Davis. I am the founder of Empowered Enterprises International. And for the past 30 years or so, I have had the honor and privilege of working with both individuals and organizations to have them create their vision of the future and then bring that vision into reality. It is absolutely my delight. It is my passion. And I just love when you get that sparkle in the eye when somebody realizes that, yes, you can live the life of your dreams. It's all possible. I love it.
Yes, and I'm so happy. I asked Means about a couple of months ago, almost now, if he would come on, because I've been working with him as a transformational coach for a couple of years, and he's helped me so much. And I asked him if he would share some of the information that he has shared with me, with all of you, and he has agreed to do that. So I'm so grateful. And even sometimes when we could fall back into old patterns, it's okay. And we just regroup and fast forward, because it's now forward, right? Means now forward.
That's a great introduction of today's topic of choosing your goals, creating the life from now forward. I mean, very good. It's perfect. So let me jump in. Okay. So because we do fall into old patterns, we wanted to look at what is the process, right? What is a process? What is a mechanism that we can use to move and shift from those old patterns into what we want, the pattern of what we want. So we're creating new patterns. So it's no mistake when you come to the call and say, okay, so I'm just not there right now. I should be further. I should have something different. It shouldn't be going on like this. Life doesn't look like this. This isn't what it should be. We want to catch that should and know that as soon as we say should to ourselves, we are now putting ourselves into the old paradigm. We're creating a new paradigm where it's not should, but could. So we've talked about opening the blinds. We've talked about raising our awareness of our actions that produce the results which give us the circumstances of our life. We've talked about how we create our circumstances, how human beings perceive something with our senses, and then our mind puts an interpretation or a story to that perception. And that gives us our experience of life and the options that we have to take that produce the results that give us our circumstances. We've talked about consciously choosing that interpretation, that story, so that our choice is our human being superpower. We get to say what story we're living in. So you can live in that I should be further along. You can live in I should be different, or they should be different, or it should be different. We can live in, oh my gosh, this is horrible. This is awful. Or we can choose another story that empowers us. Choose something that actually gives us actions we can take to produce the results that give us the circumstances that we want. By our choice, we can choose what we look for, and that determines what we see. There's plenty of evidence for everything or anything that we want to look for. So if you're looking for how bad it is, you're going to find plenty of evidence of how bad it is. If you're looking for how you should be somewhere else or somehow else or be better off or whatever it is, you'll find all of those reasons as why you have, it should be, should be, should be, should be. Or we can shift that story, shift that interpretation, shift our inquiry into life and shift into something that we want. So instead of asking how bad it is or why it's so bad, ask how is it so good? How is it so good? How am I empowered? whatever question we ask our mind is going to answer. And it's going to continue to answer that question until we say, okay, there's the answer I was looking for. Here's the next question. Our mind is a phenomenal tool for us to use to be able to create what we want. So this week, we want to apply all of that to designing your life, to choosing the life you want to live. So it's no mistake, again, that we come to the call with whatever is churning up, and then we get to actually apply something to that. So what we do to design the life that we want to live is we create goals. All right, everybody knows about goals. So I use that term because it's nice and easy. I could say creating your future. I could say creating your dreams. I could say creating, your circumstances. But we want to look at today how we create our goals, because our goals give us a vision of our future. So choosing our goals based on the future, the life that we want to live, becomes a very powerful tool. Our goals give us actions to take to fulfill on that goal. So when you have a specific goal, there's specific actions you can take to fulfill on that. Those actions produce results, and that gives us our circumstances. So when we create a goal, we're creating what we want our circumstances to be. Then the game is to take the actions and produce the desired results that give us the circumstances, the life we want. The constant question becomes, is this action, is this thought, is this action, is this way of being aligned with my goal? Is it likely to produce the results that I want? And if it is, take the action. If it isn't, don't. It becomes very, very simple. When you apply it to your thoughts, that thought of, I should be further along, I shouldn't have to deal with this, it should be a different way. Does this thought further? Does it move my goal forward? Is it aligned with my goal? And the answer there is usually no. So don't honor that thought. Don't give your energy to it. Don't give your attention to it. Your attention is energy. So when that thought comes up, you just notice it. Okay, good. And let it go on by. Choose the next thought. What's the next thought? It could be related to it. Like, wow, look how far along I am on my journey. Or it could be, wow, I could choose being perfect. Or wow, I could be the perfect expression of the God source universe. Whatever thought you want to honor it. And let the others go by. That's a muscle to build, is letting those other thoughts go by. Stop that. Right? Stop honoring it. Stop giving it your attention, your energy. When you get all frustrated and in a tizzy about it, you're creating energy for it, for that thought, rather than giving yourself that energy to create what you want. If we choose a goal of making money and align our actions to that, our life becomes about making money. If we choose a goal of about being in a relationship and align our actions with that, our life becomes about being in a relationship. Our life becomes about whatever it is we've chosen as our goal, as our context, as our future. So we want to fill our life with these goals, fill our life with being in a relationship, making money, aligning our actions to what we want. And then our life starts filling up with that. And the more you fill it with that, the more that's what your life is all about. So choose what your life is about.
Yes,
Choose
and
it.
I have found also that choosing, for me personally, peace and presence in my day, then that's a priority of mine, especially since I came back from a CC and felt this enormous amount of peace and presence. I bring that energy, I try to bring that energy into my day, in my doing of the goals for the day, as opposed to just doing. Do you want to speak about that means? Because I know that's super important to me, because I know when I feel like I'm in alignment and when I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's it. When you're in alignment, things flow with ease. And
Yes.
right? And your actions are a natural self-expression. They're a joyous expression of
Yes.
what you're up to,
Yes.
rather than it being this mountain you have to climb of actions to take. I say that most of us are very busy building the mountain so that we can climb the mountain, so that we can get down the other side of the mountain, so that we can get to the other side and say,
This is not
"Woo,
bringing my goals.
yes, yes." It's like, but the best part is that when we get to the other side of the mountain, we go, "Woo, now I can start working on my goals." So we build this mountain of actions that we have to take before we get started, rather than getting started and seeing what actions are a natural expression of that goal.
Oh, yes.
Natural expression. It's the goal comes first, people. It's
Yeah.
not doing, and then you get to set your goals. It's set your goals and allow yourself to see the actions that will fulfill on that. So I say that it's a very simple process of really powerfully living life. It's say what you want, take an action in alignment with that, and then check in with the results you produce and the opportunities that opened up, and then repeat. Now, given the results you produced, the opportunities that have opened up, and it's a whole new world, now what do I want? And take an action in alignment with that, and check in with the results you produced and the opportunities that opened up. So that it's, here's what I want, here's an action I can take, and then check in with the results and the opportunities. When you take an action, you produce results, and that opens up new opportunities. So you may want to change your goal at that time. After every action, you want to check in, is this still the goal I want to be working for? When I started my company, I had a vision of having empowered living centers in every city around the world. Okay, this building that would have coaches, and would have, entertainment and restaurants, and it would have like everything that you would need to have a successful entrepreneurial system, right? And I worked on that vision for about 5 years. And I realized after 5 years that I hadn't opened my first one. And I'm like, well, this is weird. Okay, like I'm a coach, I'm a business coach. I know what it takes to open a business. I know what it takes to produce this result. Why am I not doing it? And then I caught myself, why am I not doing it? Knowing that that was my brain telling me, my mind telling me all the reasons why not to do it. And I'm like, okay, so no, let's shift that. Why would I do that? I looked at what it would take to produce that result. And I took my step back and I looked at it, something, that's not my dream anymore. That's not the goal. The goal is shifted. I want to be making a difference with individuals and organizations to have them reach their goals. I don't want to be managing empowered living centers and buildings around the world. Little shift. That came from me taking the actions aligned with the goal. I took the actions aligned with the goal, and it produced the results, and it opened up new opportunities. It gave me the opportunity to do what I love to do, really, instead of doing what I said I would do when I was 19 years old and said that that was what I was supposed to do. So the freedom of choice, our superpower, comes from that choosing our goals and choosing what we want. So life becomes, now what do you want? Now what do you want? Now do you want? Now forward. It doesn't matter what we said last week. Now what do you want? Take an action for that and check in with the results. Check in with what opens up for you, the opportunities. And that's the mechanism that I use to be able to produce results and design and create and live the life that we want to live. It's the process of waking up to our superpower, of choosing, of having the magic happen. So, which kind of perfectly leads directly into, if we have the mechanism, what else do we need to know? What is it that is using that mechanism? And start looking at, so next week we're going to look at, how do we relate to ourselves? Because very few of us relate to ourselves as someone who is creating their life, designing their life, having the life of their dreams, living the life of their dreams, we're actually living it now. We relate to ourselves as someone who has to do a lot more work, or somebody who hasn't done what they need to do, or somebody who has too much to do to be able to do what we would love to do. Listen to all the do's in that. So next week, we're going to look at relating to yourself. How do you empower? How do you have an empowering relationship to yourself? Which I think is kind of cool.
Yes, super important. That's for sure. And don't forget to visualize. I think visualization is huge as well with goals, sitting with
Yes.
that visual and creating.
Yeah, if you don't have a vision of your future, you're just kind of, wandering around.
Absolutely.
Very
All right.
hard. Yep.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was just going to say, very hard to get somewhere if you don't know where you are.
Yes, where you are and where you're going, for sure. The roadmap.
Yes. Very good. Perfect.
All right. Well, we will respect everyone's time. Thank you for joining us this week. And we look forward to seeing you again on The Magic Happens next Monday.
Absolutely. Have a great one, everybody.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye, all.